Perfect. Okay, look at us. Listen, I'm going to speak to the side of the house over here. I have to talk into this microphone as well, so excuse me. Thanks for joining us. Really, though, it really does make us happy when we do have people come to this. I know it's the end of the day. It's about time to go, but I promise I won't keep you too long, but we will talk about some things here that could be really important to you. So go ahead, T. So my name is Kenneth Luna. I'm a licensed professional counselor, as well as a clinical counselor here and associate professor. A little bit about me. So you're like, who is this guy talking to me? I have a master's degree in clinical mental health counseling. I have a bachelor's degree in elementary education. I was a kindergarten teacher for a little bit. I'm currently a PhD student at Texas Tech University in counselor education. Again, I'm a licensed professional counselor. I'm a board certified mental health counselor, as well as a nationally certified counselor. All of that to say, I do therapy for a living. I talk to people. So I'm glad that you're here. And we'll get started. Again, I'll try to make this as personable as possible. I got you. Go ahead, T. Kind of what we're going to run through today is the facts. I'm going to give you some statistics. I'm going to give you some things that maybe you want to know. I'm going to talk to you about some warning signs that you need to be aware of in case you're experiencing them and what clinical mental health can help you with there. We're going to talk about resources and referral. And then, of course, we're going to have time for question and answer. Okay? Go ahead, G. The facts. So the Center for Collegiate Mental Health, their 2022 annual report, just some statistics to be a nerd in the house. An estimated 41% of college students reported to having depressive symptoms. An estimated 31% of college students reported to having anxious/stress-related symptoms. So when we look at those two things, what we're really talking about is anxiety and depression. That's probably the predominant thing that most college students are struggling with, as well as about 20% of clients at colleges endorse discrimination related to at least one identity. So that's gender, racial, sexuality, those sorts of things. T. At ACC currently, students are struggling to be able to seek help through ACC's district clinical counseling services. Some of the four ongoing things that we're seeing as well are anxiety, general stress, relationship stress, and depression. Probably 9 times out of 10 when someone comes to my office, we're dealing with anxiety or depression. Suicidality, really high stress from managing classes on top of work, on top of family, those sorts of things. It's sad to see, but that's what we're here for. Go ahead, Tan. Some of the warning signs, and this is kind of where I will take a little bit of a break and pause and to talk about some of this stuff. Some of the stuff here could be you, and you're like with mom, and you're like, I don't want to tell her these things. But there's very much so, we're going to talk about some things that maybe you could be experiencing, some of the students could be experiencing, those sorts of things, okay? Go ahead, Tan. Mood disorder, so that's what we call depression, bipolar disorder, those sorts of things. When you think of a depressive disorder, what do you think of? Come on, crowd participation. What do you think of? Anyone? Right? Right, some of our physical symptoms, right? So some of those physical things, we could look sad, maybe we haven't showered in 3 or 4 days. Our hair's messy, we don't really know what's going on. We're just kind of in a sad mood. Those are real warning signs that we should be looking out for. So if we notice those things, I take it your mom, yeah? So noticing those things about your daughters, having support like this, to understand some of the supports that we do have here is going to be really important for you to understand. And girls, do y'all both go to school here? Yeah? Are y'all predominantly at Highland? Yeah? Okay. I got you. So the good thing about us is what we'll get to in a little bit is I'll teach you how to refer and those sorts of things. And we'll go from there. Go ahead, Tanner. Anxiety and stress-related disorders, of course, Decrease in schoolwork, irritated, right? That anxiety, anger is just a high form of anxiety. Tired, complaints of tiredness, we're falling asleep in class, maybe we don't have enough energy. We have a real negative view of ourselves. Maybe I'm not good enough. What is the point of this? It's real existential. Something that you may be seeing that's pretty similar is anxiety and depression look a lot like each other. They're usually coupled together. They're usually diagnosed together. So with everything looking so similarly, it's hard to pick out which one is this until you come and see a professional. Which brings me to my next slide. ADHD, the hardest thing to diagnose that I've ever had to diagnose is attention deficit disorder, hyperactivity disorder. ADHD is one of the most commonly diagnosed things between kids, when in reality, it usually is just depression and anxiety. So ADHD itself looks a lot like anxiety. It looks a lot like depression. We have those mood swings. We have those anxiousness. We're constantly fidgeting. We're not getting work done on time. We're in a low mood now, but now I'm really active. While it could be true ADHD, the diagnostic criteria, let me be a nerd for 3 minutes. The diagnostic criteria are very similar. And so that's why if your doctor's ever like, you need to go get formally diagnosed with ADHD, that's why they're going to send you off to run actual tests for you. Any questions about that? Great. Listen, thanks for letting me be a nerd for 3 minutes. I appreciate it. Recommendations. Go ahead, Tan. So in 2022, the Harvard Business Publishing presented the CARE framework. And this is kind of where I'm going to spend the bulk of our presentation, is talking about sort of our beliefs in mental health, and ways then we can enact our beliefs and help seeking behaviors. So if we look at the framework, it's called CARE. Go ahead, Tanner. So CARE stands for check, act, recognize, and empower. So check, C, we're going to check our own understanding and our own biases of mental health, and understanding if we're ready to seek mental health services. Because I know you've maybe heard the thing of, well, he just wasn't ready to change, or she just wasn't ready to go in for help. And that's their own understanding of their own mental health, which can be really important for people to do the hard work that is therapy. So here we're going to establish trust. Mom, if you're checking on the girls, you're going to make sure that you're holding conversations like this. Girl, same for you. You want to make sure that mom is talking, right? Mom's asking you about these things. We have a real understanding of what mental health is, an understanding that it's just as common as physical ailments as well. A, we're going to act. So we're going to actively identify warning signs. So again, if you know you're struggling really hard in class, you know you're struggling really hard meeting deadlines, those sorts of things. If it's a relationship issue, if you're like, I don't really know who I am, if it's an existential issue, those are real things that you can come to therapy for. And then I would start thinking, okay, in my brain, okay, these things are going on. Maybe I should seek somebody out. Maybe I need help with something. With understanding those things, then we're going to recognize, again, we're going to have conversations about mental health now, right? We're going to gauge how mom actually views it. We're going to gauge how the girls actually view it. I'm going to gauge with whoever else in therapy, right? How do you view mental health? Is this important to you? If it's not important to you, how can we make it a little bit more important to you? And then we're going to empower. We're going to make sure that you know that this is a safe place for you to learn. I know that we are in a big room and it's just me and you three, but to know that ACC as a whole is a safe place and that we recognize and understand the importance of mental health, especially on campus, is probably one of the biggest things that I will stand on about ACC. Go ahead, T. So I'm going to tell you the real meat of everything, how to refer, how to get here, how to come see me. Of course, we have CARES. So if you were a faculty member, faculty members can refer through CARES, and CARES is a bigger entity than I am as well. Some students are on the CARE team, which means that, let's say we're having a depressive episode and we miss 3 assignments. During that time, if you're on the CARES team can go to that professor and ask for an extension. They can ask if you will be accommodating to those things. Let's say a professor understands that you're having a hard time, they may put you on the CARES team, which is nothing bad. It's just more people in your corner when the time comes for it. The real meat of everything, go ahead, Tanner, is how you get to me. So we are District Clinical Counseling Services. You get 6 counseling sessions with us for free. We don't really treat things that are too high acuity, like eating disorders, things like that. But we do referrals with us. We have internal and external referrals for longer care. We have things such as the Amplify Center, which is a partnership with UT that we have. We partner with student accessibility services or integral care. We don't do mandated counseling. We're more solution focused. So we're really going to figure out what is happening now and how we can get you to a better place. When students come to see me, what I always tell them is we're going to get a foundation. We're going to have that foundation so that way you can be able to go see another therapist, but have some skills under you. So when you start doing the harder work. We don't do any diagnosis, so I'm not in my chair diagnosing. I am trained to diagnose, so my brain automatically goes there, but we're not writing out formal diagnosis. We don't do that for SAS or anything like that either. And to get an appointment with us, we have a referral form that I will show you. Go ahead, Tan. So that's kind of our strategy. So we either go through CARES or DCCS, which is District Clinical Counseling Services. There's our website there. That QR code will lead you right to our little referral form. And then I will show you how to get there. I'm going to ask if we have any questions at this time. Any questions? Was that informative? Great. Sometimes it's hard, y'all. Sometimes I spat off information and some people are like, what did you just say? I do want to show you before we leave how to get to our links and everything like that. Let's see if I can do this without falling off of this chair. So here's our homepage. And at our homepage, you'll go to student support. Under student support, you will scroll all the way down to counseling. You'll click counseling. I really want that to be a picture of me. Don't worry, I'm working on it. I am working on it hard. So we do offer clinical counseling groups as well. These are a current number of the groups that we have going on. I'm currently running a group for mental health for men entitled I Love You, Bro. We have a thing for Meet the Clinicians. We will hopefully have pictures up soon. Wow, there's that guy. You'll be able to read a bio of me, bio of the clinician that is maybe at your campus as well. And so that you can get a real feel of who they are before you come see us. We also have videos and resources. I don't know if they've been updated, but hey, we have them. And down at the bottom, we have, where's it at? There it is, submit a request. So if we start at the top and we scroll all the way down, we will submit a request. And that'll bring up our District Clinical Counseling Service referral and request form. The most important thing to note about this form is at the bottom. So if we scroll all the way to the bottom, there's also some emergency numbers there too. Because we're not available 24/7, I work 8 to 5 and I have the weekends off. Please don't contact me on the weekends. Just kidding. If we scroll all the way down, the most important thing to remember is right here, does a student agree to be contacted by a member of the clinical counseling team? Without marking yes to this, I can't reach out to you. Our team cannot reach out to you. So click yes on that, please. The rest of the form is pretty self-explanatory. There's the type of concerns that we have going on here, anything else that's been going on, the campus that you want to be at, if you want to do in-person or virtual sessions, because we do also offer virtual sessions, and phone sessions as well. This is so this is where you put your information in, gender, name, your ID, date of birth, those sorts of things. This section 1, is for faculty and staff who are submitting on your behalf. So that's also important, but if you're doing it as a student, you don't have to do that. Okay. I am at the end of my presentation. Anybody have any questions for me? Yes, ma'am. Oh, I got a question. That's such a good question. So currently you sound like you're going to be a good fit for this. A part of our team, we are also part of the faculty here. And so with that, we also have to start student organizations. So we are currently in the process of starting a student organization entitled Active Minds. And what Active Minds is, it's completely student-led, and it's for people, it's for students, let me get that straight. It's for students who are struggling with mental health and to have peer support. So they are very active on running just like Hangouts. They're not doing real clinical work because, of course, they don't have a clinical license. It'll start becoming a thing more in the next about month or so. We're almost done with it. So look out for Active Minds around campus. It's predominantly going to be housed here at Highland. So that could be one way you go. Another way is we have flyers all around campus. They say take care of your mind, and there's a cute little graphic that I designed. And that QR code's there or the website's there. If you think somebody's struggling, say, hey, I know Kenny at Counseling Services. That guy's cool. Let me go. You should go see him. Or you should go see the counselor that's here. Her name is Lena. That's a good question. Good job. Anything else? Hey, I appreciate y'all. Thank you. I appreciate you. Yay! Look at us.